Welcome to the All Things BMX show. It's a big one tonight, Chris.
Yep. Ready to go.
Who do we got on the show?
You would do that to me. Renato.
That's right.
There you go.
Renato.
The modern day
said
GOAT.
it right.
He's going to be joining us this evening. It's going to be a good one. Guy's had an amazing career. Still out there winning. Man, got to meet him a few years back. He's a pretty cool cat, man. Pretty excited he's on the show this evening.
Yeah.
The ATB crew is coming to you from the Ethan Clark Studios here in the busy metropolis of half power and half no power of Heartland, Michigan.
I think that's the whole state of Michigan right now.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's I know at my house it's out.
Yeah. The good people over at Motor City Harley Davidson bring us each and every week. Big things happening over there. They got hogs and dogs, bro.
Yeah. This weekend, right?
Paul's favorite event.
Yeah, he's got to go check
Chugging hot dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Hogs and dogs this weekend over at Motor City Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
They got.
And I think they got the bike wash going on, all that
They're
stuff.
still waiting on you to show up to do that bikini wash, Chris.
Yeah, they're going to keep waiting, too, because, like I said, they want people to come there.
We got that answer outfit back there behind Melissa.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, I'm
A
good.
loincloth, maybe?
No.
You know Nick could make that happen.
I know, but I think it would hurt Nick's business.
I doubt that.
I really do.
It's pretty bulletproof there. Chris and I are at the Getawares news desk where they bring you the best and the coolest in lifestyle apparel.
Yes.
Bill just sent me a zine that he did.
Really?
Yeah. He etched it on tablets, meaning like stone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's that
the
old.
little mallet and the little chisel.
Actually, it was pretty cool. It's pretty rad. He was way ahead of his time.
Check it
Yeah.
out when we're done. We'll check it out.
It's because we don't have any news.
Uh,
What do you got?
I'm just thinking real quick. Well,
No,
we
no.
had Michigan State Series just finished up last weekend.
There's your hometown hero.
There we go.
Our show
That was
doesn't
fun.
happen without the support of the following people. So when you guys are looking for your BMX needs, please make sure you shop these fine companies that support our show, the Hack Shack. Make sure you hit up Mike Melvin if you want your own side hack bike built, or if you're looking for BMX supplies, Wrenchman Wheel Builds for the finest wheel builds.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Good stuff right there.
Yeah.
And if you
Well, you did
use
yours,
both mine.
built mine.
Yeah.
Zach, go talk to him over there.
If you use the ATB discount code BRODEAL, he'll send you a free high five. Our good friends over at BMX Race Supply, anything you guys do over $49.99 or up, free shipping on that. Mega Design Group, we want to say get well soon
Yeah,
to our
rest
good
up.
friend, Brian Fell.
Yes.
He's healing up. He's on the mend.
Awesome.
He'll be back at Capone's before you know it. DB Sports World, if you guys are looking for your BMX needs, make sure you check them out. 110 Nutrition. If you guys are ordering from 110, you already know. Chris, plug them with your shirt.
Oh yeah.
They're there on the side.
I
Got
get
that Alita Beeman shirt there. Yeah. You can use our discount code AllThingsBMX for 10% off.
Yep.
And all the links and info from our partners and sponsors can be found in our show notes.
Yeah.
Melissa is joining us
Hey,
back at the producer's perch.
Speaking
What?
of this shirt, Alita Beeman, if you guys want to get your own, search.
Is she giving you is she paying you for this?
No. No, I'm just trying to be a nice guy. She's a friend of
Hometown.
mine, friend of yours, and I just want to help her
Yeah.
out. She's selling these shirts to help cover her expenses for traveling to nationals and that. So look her up on Facebook, Instagram, Alita Beeman, and see if you can get yourself one of these cool shirts.
With that free plug, she needs to come back on the show.
She should.
Deal.
Yep.
Melissa's got the Gate 9 Producers Perch. They sponsor Alita, too. Melissa, how's it going?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. And welcome to the show, everyone. We're definitely all glad to be here.
Yeah.
Cooling down a little bit out there for us, although the storms could go away. Hopefully. I'm not even going to say it.
Yeah.
Dangerous Snacks is bringing you our guest, Renato, this week. Dangerous Snacks is a snack that's the difference between Dragon Ass and Holland Ass. So when you're ordering from them, use our discount code SHITSHOW for a discount, clearly. The show's chat is sponsored by BMX Rocks Photography. And we hear that Roxanne is on the mend still herself, so that's great news. The BMX Rocks Photography chat question for tonight is with the National in Louisville this weekend, big Labor Day weekend. We would like to know, what's your favorite Derby City BMX memory?
Ooh.
That's a mouthful. What's your favorite Derby City BMX memory, Chris? Been there?
I've been there once. 2011, it was the last NBL Grands ever. And
Oh, wow.
It was really cool. I did. I didn't make the main. But I had a
It
great.
didn't matter, did it?
No, it didn't. It was fun. It was cool. They made a big deal about it, is what I remember, because it was the last NBL Grands before everything became USA BMX, and Roger Plaskett was announcing there, and Al Roybal. It was cool. I remember all that.
That's awesome.
And more, but we're not here for that right now.
Justin?
2. I got ejected out of the second turn and flew through some of the banners.
Oh,
Yeah. Guy swooped underneath me. It was a good time.
yeah.
And then because I made a bet with some friends of mine, Dennis Yubero watched me jump on a treadmill at 8 miles an hour. He's a good man.
You and Dennis had something going on.
Yeah, I said if I didn't make to the main,
Uh-huh.
I would jump on a treadmill. So
Oh my God.
Jeff Simpson turned the treadmill like 8-9 miles an hour, and I had to jump on it from the back. Jackass was really popular back then.
Okay, it was a while ago.
On your feet or on your bike?
No, just on my back.
Wait, what?
So
So
okay,
he's like
you know the
got
part,
flung
you know the back of
across
the
it.
part that like is normally like you're running, and
Yeah.
that's the part you're at. So I had to get on that side as the treadmill's running this way, right? And he sped it up as fast as it could go, and I had to jump on it.
Like launched him.
Oh my God, it did! Like right across the room through a trash can. Dennis gave me a Heineken.
Wait, is there a video?
Yeah,
Oh, we need that
it was filmed on like a LG, I don't know, 6100 flip phone.
flip phone.
I'm amazed you survived.
I almost went through the dumbbell rack, but
All right,
like
we need that info at allthingsbmxshow.com.
Who was the pro kid? Jeff Becker from Grand Rapids.
Oh gosh,
Married Fran.
Yeah.
He took a garbage can.
Jared Becker.
He moved it over because he's like, I'm worried you might hit the dumbbell rack. And I was like,
somebody was looking out
I
for
was
you.
like, there's no way. I'm too big to go that far. Dude, I
Nope.
hit the treadmill and it just acted like a slingshot, and I went right to the garbage can, and it did stop me before the.
I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
Suggest you look up Newton's law,
Well, it was funny because Dennis just walked in with this big.
or was that Einstein that said objects in motion have a tendency to stay in
He
motion?
just walked in with this like brown bag, and I just blew through the trash can. He's like, "You need this," and then, like, of course, the legend Dennis Yubera shows up.
Yeah.
I've been there quite a few times. It's always is a great time,
All
and
right.
they do such a good job at the track. The track.
I've heard stories of the mud hill
Oh,
sliding
yeah.
down in the mud from years ago. So it always rains there
Yeah.
almost every time.
Gotta
So
ask our guest.
whoever's
His favorite memory, right?
yeah, we should. Yeah. All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
All right. There he is. Hey, welcome into the show, Renato.
Thank you.
All right. So, before we do we want to start there?
Ask him what.
Yeah.
Ask him
All
what the
right.
trivia.
So, what's your favorite memory from Derby City?
You know, I was just listening what you guys are saying, and for me, I mean, that's obviously a lot of good memories. But some of that stuck with me was '95. I was doing A-Pro and racing Henry Lee. So I got a picture on the magazine in front of Henry Lee.
Oh.
So that was great. And then with that on Pro Open, I got a picture on the cover of the BMXer, NBL BMXer, with doing a high-low in Christophe Levesque. And with that picture, I won $500.
Oh, really?
I had a sticker, NBL sticker on my plate. And with that sticker, you had they have a promotion, whatever it was before. If you had the cover picture with the NBL stickers, you'd make it $500.
You had a
Hey.
savings bond too. You could win if you were amateur.
Amateur?
Yeah, because
Okay.
he was pro.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, so that was a great moment.
They need to bring that back.
I know.
Of course. Well, all right. That's not, if you have an NBL sticker now, that's different. I guess,
Well, I mean,
USA. Well,
USA BMX
yeah.
they do.
yeah. I guess that didn't make much sense. Did
Well,
it?
the question we ask each and every guest when they come on the show,
Yeah.
Chris,
Oh, I thought you. Sorry. All right. So, how did you start out in BMX? How did you find out about it?
Well, I said that I think a couple of times that I did watching commercial. Um, I saw a guy doing a 180 on a half pipe, and I was 12 years old, and I said, "Oh my God, that's what I want to do." And we playing on the street with friends, and not even a BMX bike yet. And we found a BMX track near my house back in '83, and that's how we started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, when did you start actually racing?
'94, I did some local races and some most I think state races, and then '95, '85, I start doing nationals in Brazil, back in Brazil, which we had to do state, qualified in the state to do a national. And the national back then, it was only one race. So you had to be first or second in your state to qualify to the national. And I did that in my first year. I was rookie of the year. And from then, it was just like history.
When you found the sport of BMX, what was your local track, and how did you guys? What was the racing scene like, and what was that year around?
Yeah, '84. It was amazing because we used to have a lot of teams and big sponsors in back in Brazil, which at least for statewide, and we always wanna as a beginner to be in one of those teams. Unfortunately, when I got to be good enough to be in one of those teams, everything went out. So, but yeah, it was great. It was like motocross back then. We had those big teams. Some of them sponsored by Yamaha,
Really?
moto, some motocross bike shops. So it was really nice, and so we missed that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was big.
So then, how long before you started hitting like the U.S. races and that type of? When did that start?
Well, in 89, I was in a team which was they're from São Paulo, which is the big state for BMX in Brazil.
Okay.
And the team said, "Well, you guys are gonna go to the States to race a couple races." And I got all excited, and I was already a national champion. And then down the line, nothing happened. So and then 93, I went to France to train and do the world championship in Norway, Holland, the Netherlands.
Okay. Yep.
And from there, I went back to France and got my visa to the US. And I came straight from France to US through Boston
Okay.
and then California.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you start racing nationals right away, or just local races? How did that progression go?
Yeah, I at the beginning, I from being in Boston for a month and a half, and it was starting to get cold over there. It was in end of August, beginning of October,
Hmm.
oh September. No, actually, yeah, there was end of August, and I came over went over to California in beginning of October, and I did just local races and everything. So a friend of mine said, "Well, there's gonna be a national in Burbank." And he said, "Why don't we go?" And I said, "Well, I don't have money." And he said, "Well, I'll pay your entry fees." I said, "All right, for Friday." So there I went, and I raced Friday. And I got second. And so then the people from the track in Simi Valley said, "Are you racing tomorrow?" And I said, "No, I don't. I don't have money." And they paid Saturday and Sunday for me to race. And I got second on Saturday and crashed on Sunday.
Oh no.
My good friend Roberts took me out.
Oh
Oh
no.
Yeah, but it was all good and it was a good lesson and it was great. The first national was Burbank, 93.
93. Okay. All right.
What was it like coming from, you went from Brazil, you went and trained France, and then Boston. I mean, a lot of people don't understand like that part. Leaving your home country to chase this BMX hobby. I mean, for you, it was going to be a career. What was that jump like for you to just up and pack and leave and chase BMX?
Well, we always had unfortunately we don't have anymore the BMX magazine, BMX Action, BMX Plus. Yeah, BMX Plus was first.
Yep.
And so we always had that dream to win a truck or whatever the pros were getting, and seeing all those pictures and everything. So we got hooked with it, and I said, well, that's what I want to do. I want to be in the States. I want to be there one day. And the dreams was picking it up, and I was winning nationals in Brazil and went to a couple world championships and I said, well, I need to get into the U.S. and I made it. So it's a dream come true. I'm still living my dreams and until today. So it's been nice.
Wow.
That's great.
What do you feel like the big difference is between the international racing and the United States? So when here we kind of have our own format. You're a seasoned traveler. You've been around the world racing. For somebody that's looking and eyeing to make that jump, into the World Cup level to start racing international, what's the biggest difference that you experienced in your career?
Most of all is the pre-model transfer. That was like it used to be in NBL. So a lot of kids they're not used to race three times and then quarters, semis, or eights or quarters, semis, and the main. So it's a lot of racing. That's the main. I think the main thing is to be prepared to race more rounds. No,
Mm-hmm.
No.
Do you,
yeah.
when you're going to race, or when you were doing the international stuff, did you change up any of your training leading up to those races? Or, we speak about the NBL times and things like that, where you still race three motos and things. Or were you racing still in that pocket of NBL where you had that? Or did you have things that you changed up training-wise for the international competition?
I think most of it just in a mindset, not really a different training for that. I mean, it's just obviously we put a little bit more time into it, but the most of all, it's get your mind that you're gonna have to race three times, and then with that, you preparation, whatever you've done before, you're gonna be get used to it. But you cannot get there and think you're gonna do one moto and done. You have to be ready for all three, and that mentally takes a lot out of you. So you have to be mentally prepared.
Wow. All right. What were some of your big accomplishments in your amateur career that you had?
Well, that was actually all of them was in Brazil. I was four times national champion, a lot of times state champion, Pan American champion twice, twice South American champion, vice second place, yeah, and fifth in the world in '89 was back in Brazil, which was a great accomplishment to make the main, and it was back at the day it was 19 and over or I think it was 19 and over expert. That was so 18 and over, something like that.
Mm.
18 and over.
Okay.
So that's about it. And I won a couple. I raced 1 year here in the States, expert, and I won Gold Cup um, and then, but it wasn't enough to be in the national rank. So just Gold Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
How were the in Brazil? How many tracks were there back in the when you were getting started?
It's in my town actually we did have 2 or 3 tracks, which was great. And but and then all of a sudden just most of the tracks just went out.
Okay.
So right now in my town we don't have any track. We have 1 track actually, but it's not in a perfect condition. They are trying now to rebuild, and hopefully they will get that done. And then we'll have the next town, which they pave the whole track with asphalt.
Oh,
It's a good to ride to race in all conditions, but it's a little bit different.
yeah.
And all around, I think São Paulo they have the more tracks around the whole state. So yeah, I don't know numbers how many, but there is a few
So
good tracks out
there's
there.
quite a few then. So that's
Yeah,
great. Okay.
yeah.
Is that, all right.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Oh.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought I was talking over you. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Sometimes it's hard to hear when we're doing it. Okay. So they had a few of them. How far away did you travel to go to these tracks? And I'm just trying to what I'm getting at is in Brazil, how is it compared to the United States, where like here we can drive an hour to a couple of different tracks,
Hmm.
roughly here in Michigan, anyways. But in Brazil,
Well, that's it.
how far are we traveling to get to a track?
Well, like I said, we used to have 3 tracks in my town, so it was like half an hour
Hmm.
or so. And São Paulo, which is the main BMX state, they have um, maybe 9 or 10 tracks and like an hour, 2 hours away.
Okay,
So it's a lot of tracks, and now they're building more tracks in north, east of Brazil, northwest, west.
okay,
So there's nice tracks coming up.
okay. All right, that's I was just trying to get a feel for how
And
far.
nationally, it was kind of hard because Brazil is huge, and some of the races for us, I live my town is my state is the middle, and to go down south was like 24 hours bus drive, and then if you go up, it's 32 hours,
What?
and then São
Oh,
Paulo and Rio was closer, like 6 or 8 hours.
whoa. Okay, so that is a ways then. Okay. Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
How awesome was it to see the Olympics come into Brazil, and then you being involved in BMX to see BMX in the Olympics in Brazil?
That was great. Unfortunately, when you talk about Olympics, it's always the goods and the bads. And the bad is about the politics and all that goes on around. And but the good is that it shows up the sport. And unfortunately, the track went really bad. Now they are rebuilding the track
Hmm.
so the people can use it. That there was since the Olympics, nobody was using it. It was a track. And now they are getting back in rebuilding. I think September they'll be ready. October they'll be ready.
Are they gonna
So
are,
you
are they gonna keep it a Supercross track? Or are they gonna make it a all kind of like a?
I think they're gonna do both.
Oh, great!
Yeah, they find a way. I don't know. They're gonna do the 5 meter hills and still
Hmm.
uh that's 8 meter hill. So
What do you think has made you so passionate about BMX racing for as long as you've been involved in it?
you actually I think saying in Portuguese now. So for me, most of it is just a challenge. Every year is a different format or bicycle parts or tracks and all that kept me going and I most of it is motivated to train and BMX is giving me to go around the world and meet different people, nice people, make a big family around. So I think that's the main thing that keeps me going.
It's amazing. You've been involved in the sport quite a while, and it's great to still see the passion that you bring to the sport.
Yeah.
And the chat. So if anyone's watching, if you have a question or a comment, when we refer to the chat, it's just put it in the comments, and it all comes in on our end, no matter where you're watching, that we can view it. So please comment away, put questions in. But the stuff that is coming in is you're a great guy, just highly regarded. We knew this before we showed up, so it's impressive. Like you've been in this long, and I can't lie. Like when I first found the sport, 95, 96, like I had pictures of you.
Wow, thank
wild.
you.
It's all come full circle now. So
neat.
it's really cool seeing that you're still racing along with a lot of guys that were pros back in the day, and you for a lot of us, we get to line up with you, and that is really cool.
Yeah.
And to have the passion you still bring to the sport is great.
Yeah.
For you, at the level that you're at, you're still chasing down world champions, and you're still at the highest level at the national. What does a typical daily routine for you, BMX wise, look like?
Well, if I tell the secret, I'll have to kill you.
Perfect answer.
We're just trying to get some tips for ourselves. That's all.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. We're not going to use them.
But I do my sprints in the morning, go to the gym, and I coach. I do a night coaching and the track once or twice a week for gates. And but the main thing is the consistency. People go out and do sprints one day, they'll 30 sprints, and then next day I'm too tired, and the next day I'm too tired.
Why
and
are you
then
looking
the whole
at
week
me?
goes by.
Guilty of that right there.
Totally.
So yeah, you need to make it as a consistent
Yeah.
thing, and then that results will come up.
Uh,
I feel like
Six,
DL
six
has
times
told me.
national number
Yeah.
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you
6
go.
times.
There you go. Yeah. What is your local track? Where you going?
I have Orlando, BMX, and St. Cloud, and I go to Daytona too.
St. Cloud.
Nice.
Oh,
It's a fun track.
is it fun?
Yeah.
It'll beat your ass, man, if you're not ready.
Is
That
it?
rhythm pack will get you.
All right, so it's technical.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a fun track. Yeah.
Yeah, is it?
It's
Okay.
fun. Yeah, it's good.
Cool.
It's a tough one. It's good. A lot of you've got comments coming in. We'll do our chat check in here in a few, but just again, people saying you're such a great ambassador for our sport. Do you have a do you have a job outside of BMX?
That's my coach. I did physical education in college. I did college when I went back to Brazil in 2005. So I went back to school, and then did college and physical education and became a coach. Well, I was already a coach, but just studied. And that's what I do here at clinics. That's my living.
Is that a question we had come in, Melissa?
Nope.
What's
Mine.
your well? Ask away.
Well, no, he was talking about something else. Go ahead. When he gets
Oh.
to the coaching, that's why I put it there.
So your daily job is coaching, and you're fitting in your training program. If you were to offer one piece of advice, how do I want to frame this? Like, not for like a young kid. Our listeners are a little bit on the, they're 35 and over. What
For
would
the most part.
you, I mean, when your kid tunes in, yeah, we hit that younger demographic.
Right. Yeah.
For the
yeah.
most part, yeah,
Yeah.
it's 35 and over. What would be that one piece of advice, for that group, that 35, maybe 40 and over, that you would offer them for training?
Well, first of all, a lot of the guys, even myself, when I came back in 2015, I told myself I used to be a pro when I left, and then came back as an amateur. And I said, I cannot do the same things I was doing back then. So I have to go one step at a time. It's baby step. I cannot be looking what this guy is doing or that guy is doing. I have to see my condition, and from there I start building up my fitness and physical and technique also. And 2015, I got smashed here and there in expert class, but on the following year, so I got into the groove and I start winning more nationals. And so that's about it. It's just stick with it. Don't be looking what other people are doing. Just do what you're capable of. If you can manual, just pump it. If you can jump, manual, and then just go on from there. And then baby steps, you're gonna get faster and faster. But you cannot be looking at George day and think that you're gonna have to be that fast next day. No,
No.
and the same goes to the parents, because some of the parents, they take the kids to training and they said, well, he needs to be ready for state series or next month or next week. And I said, it's not going to happen. It just, and then that comes with their frustration and everything. So everything takes time. You have to be patient. And I think dedication, not 1 day, 2 days, not 1 month. It's a everyday thing.
It's a long
Like
process.
milking the cow.
Yeah, it's a long process. You have to stay with it and
Yeah.
continue and improve little by little. Yeah, I think that's one thing. A lot of kids, most younger kids, not so much older kids, but they go to a clinic one time and they expect to be great.
Mhm.
I went to one clinic with this pro one time, and you can go to that clinic and they will teach you things, but then you need to take those things and apply them to your daily or weekly routine, on your bike.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And another thing is I tell the kids is like, hey, you're doing the clinic, you coming more often, but you're gonna get better. But don't forget from where you came from, because a lot of the kids they got all that, I'm good, I'm better than you, better than this, and then all of a sudden it's like you're going down, and then down you go, and it's hard to pick it up. And that's the main one of the things that I keep with me is like I'm not better than anybody. I just do my work, trying to get my best every time, but I'm not better than anybody.
Do you ride every day, Renato? Are you at the
Every
track
day.
every day?
I do sprints every day
Okay.
at the track 3 times.
Oh, 3 times a week.
But touching the bike every day. You're doing something
Every day.
or
Every
something
day,
on your
yeah.
bike every day. I feel like
Yeah.
DL said that that's kind of a thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Holy cow. All
Yeah.
right.
Your style of riding is always talked about, and you have this uncanny ability to make it look effortless, from gate starts to pumping, manualing, jumping. What's the best gate advice you could give somebody? Because those that know understand that comment I just made. When you watch, you race, you're like, what? It doesn't look like you're, and that's really how even the top pros are today.
Mm-hmm.
What's your best piece of advice for somebody struggling with, like gates? What would you offer up for gate advice?
Well, first of all, everything, a lot of people think that they have to be 2 hours, 3 hours in the gate practicing. But one of the things is it's what you do outside of the track. Gym workout and your plyometric jumps, sprints, short sprints, long sprints, dead stop, and all that will help you getting into a better gait. And obviously, another thing that a lot of people don't understand is the coordination, or the eye, hand, and leg coordination. They lack here or there, and then there we go. You can't perform your best gait. Everything has to work together and work on those flyers and trust yourself. When I get on the gate, just the gate, tell yourself that the gate is your friend. It's not gonna hurt you, and just trust your timing.
Yeah. Wait, there's 3 things for the gate? All right, I got to work on that. Justin knows what I'm talking about. He was helping me this weekend.
You're doing better. What would you say in your pro career that you had was your best year as a pro?
That was in 2000. I'll say 2000. Yeah, I finished number 12. That was one thing I 90. Yeah, that was 99, I think. I had I lost a brother. He was in bicycle accident, unfortunately, and I was in Brazil. We talked, and before the Gold Cup, they used to have it was a clock, and the clock on the numbers on the clock was the number one to 12, the pro position and names. So, and I told my brother, I said, I'm going to be on that clock this year. And unfortunately, it was the year that he passed. So, and then I did got on the, I would have, but the USA BMX or USA BMX finished that year. They didn't have it. And I told work or somebody there the story. And they said, "Oh, we're gonna make you one," and then and he didn't. So, but yeah, I would have been on the clock.
Oh,
Yeah,
we just have to remind them. They still owe you.
Yeah,
they still owe
exactly.
you. They owe you a clock.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
How many years did you race pro?
8 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, for 10. Yeah, and then with that pro, I raced half a year. But another good memory was, I think it was my best race in Atlanta. We always at the finish the race, we go get our money. And I think that weekend I made through the pros, I was the one who made the most money. Gary Ellis, John Purse, and all those big guys were there. I won Pro Open. Those are my parents. God bless them.
Oh, there we go.
In heaven, yeah.
Yeah.
So so that weekend it was raining in Atlanta, and I won Pro Open, and then the next day I was winning class, and Gary Ellis was behind me, and I didn't know exactly what he was doing to the last turn, and came to the top and got a little more speed than I had on the last straight and passed me. But we crossed the line almost simultaneously, and he won. And then he came back and hugged me, and I got a picture on the USA BMX that year. We hugging each other, so that was a great memory.
That's pretty neat. Yeah.
So you raced in like what a lot of people like to call, well, let's say the mid-school people like to call the golden days, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
the late 90s, early 2000s, the Gary Ellis, Craig Reynolds, Moses Tillman, Wood, I mean, you name it.
Thousand.
Charles.
I can remember.
Holmes.
Yeah. Dale Holmes. Ooh.
Holmes, yeah.
Todd Lyons, right? Let's keep going.
Lyons.
No. Did you ever end up at the this always comes up, the Christmas Classic?
Unfortunately not. I There was the every year I would go to Brazil because in the beginning I
Okay.
was in a visa, so every 6 months I would have to leave, and then I would leave in July for a month, and then in after the Grand November for a month or two. So
Well, I mean, I think
that's
that's a fair trade, being you ended up in the Brazil BMX Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But you tell us
nothing.
how you ended up, like, how did that come about, and what was that like being recognized by the by Brazil to be in the BMX Hall of Fame?
No, that was great. I mean, I that's what we strive for, to be the best in what we do, and it's great to have a
Excuse me.
recognition as a still alive. So I really appreciate all the guys that voted for me and be in the Hall of Fame in Brazil. It's great. Hopefully one day here.
I was just going to ask, what do we got to do to get you in the Hall of Fame here at USA BMX?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
Nice.
had my name there, so hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah. Well, at least got to get him on the ballot, right?
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you on the ballot?
I was, and I don't know how it works. You had to put it every year, but I was the year before I was on it. So I don't know this
Okay.
year. I don't think I was. So I don't know how it
Yeah.
works. I need to, I need to
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
Greg how it works.
Well, we'll ask him next time he comes on. We'll ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got an envelope full of money for him?
No.
Huh?
No. No. I don't. I
You
don't
can
think.
find one.
Oh, an envelope.
Sell one of your helicopters. Jesus.
Oh yeah, sure.
Get this guy in the Hall of Fame. It's nothing. It's a tax write off for you. Hey, we're
Oh,
gonna
well-
real quick. We're gonna jump over and do a chat check in here real quick. All right, and if you guys got comments or questions, right now is the time to put those into the comment sections of whatever social media platform you're watching the show on. And as Chris likes to say, make sure you like and subscribe.
Yes, please do that. It does make a huge difference for the show.
Go, and you know what? Go over and
and-
follow him on social media too.
Who?
Renato.
Renato, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Renato.
Okay. I was gonna say, follow me.
Well, you can follow Chris too. You can
Yeah.
see the
Yeah, you don't.
the
No.
life of a guy that lives highfalutin as Chris.
Oh, jeez. I
Melissa.
don't think so.
The ATV way.
Yeah, the ATP way, right?
How is the
Yeah.
chat room this evening?
Oh, busy,
Oh.
busy. We're going to say thanks for tuning in again, everybody. We appreciate it. We're going to say hi to Ken Kellogg over there on YouTube. First one in the chat. Tony Stillinger is also in the chat over on Facebook with Robert Cardoza hanging out, supporting the show. We appreciate that. Rick Carter is tuning in over on Facebook and YouTube as well. Barry Nilsson says, Renato, the people's champion. Martin Kennard says, hello, coach.
Hello.
Sean Gifford tuning in. What's up, fam? Happy Wednesday. Say hi to Craig Robinson. And is it Marley Souza? Do you know who that is?
Say it again.
Is it? I don't know if it's Marley or Merley. Merley. Souza.
Yeah, Marley. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I want to make sure. I wasn't sure if I was saying it right or not. All right. There's that nickname again. I'm gonna get that one eventually. Sexwa, something like that. Says what's up. Mike Lynn's over on YouTube says, hey, Renato. Craig Prince is tuning in. Such a great guy, but hate seeing him in my semi at the Grands. He's really a great person.
Thank you.
Tony's got your vote for Renato USA BMX Hall of Fame 2025.
There we go.
That's right. Scott Lachansky says, absolutely awesome dude. Mike Lynn mentioned Renato is a great ambassador to the sport of BMX. He needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Scott Lachansky had a question for you, Renato. Any superstitions before a race?
We just lost Renato.
Oh,
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
whoops.
Yep.
Oh.
It'll be all right. It's all right. He'll probably jump right back in.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Evidently, the Michigan storm just hit Florida.
Well, I can
Oh.
continue on, and we can come back to that question.
Or it hit us.
Well, no. Are we still on?
Are we
No,
still?
we're good. We're good. We're
Yeah,
good.
we're still
All
streaming.
right, I'll message him. Go ahead.
Let's see.
Here
Come
is the
back to
parts of live TV, folks.
This is live.
We'll
Yeah,
come
it
back
looks
to
like
Scott's question
on
there.
mine is still.
Yeah.
Zachary Gavin, Wrenchman, says, yo, Holly Dunn tuning in this evening.
Oh, yeah.
Said she was surprised about the clock thing. Bill Sharp says, what a great guy. Jeremy and Cynthia Thompson are a great dude. Always gives you a good clean race. Helps if I can read. William Prince says he's over on YouTube, but he says I'm here from Mars. He wants to know how much you paid for your haircut, Chris. See, I'm not the only one that noticed.
Oh, jeez.
Chris got a little high and tight there.
I paid for it.
I know, he's just commenting. Yeah, actually, great improvisation. Thanks, Holly. We work on the fly here.
Sorry, guys.
You're all right. Turn it one more. One more. There we go. There it is. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
We're doing a little
Sorry, I
technical
tried to
thing. real
decline
quick.
a call and the push went through.
It happens. We'll get you back up and running here.
Yep.
But little side note, we are in the process of getting a bunch of our prize packs out. So if we owe you one, keep your eye on the mail. And those are coming snail mail. So that is the cheap way to go.
Right.
We get more done that way. We get more bang from our
We're on
buck that way.
That beer budget.
That's right. We are. That is very true. Okay, so Renato, the question from Scott was any superstitions that you have before a race? Like, for instance, he has to put his right side gear on first, knee pads, shoes, and then gloves.
Really?
So he's putting.
That's mine too. My glove had to be right first.
Right glove first. All right.
Yeah, right glove first. Yeah,
Are you right-handed or left-handed?
right-handed. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. That's a great question.
Curious.
Yeah. Just that's what I do. I just every time it's because actually the main thing is just like you want to put the left first. I said no, I had to put the right first. So that's how I go too. And the foot is the same. My socks and shoe.
I like it.
Yeah.
I never thought about that before.
I bet you do things in a pretty similar order every
bet.
time. You probably just don't even realize it.
Yeah, I'm sure I do, actually.
And then that's just having a dominant side.
So that picture there is a report of in Brazil. Is in Portuguese, but just saying that the rough life of a champion.
Oh.
So, telling how far would I have to ride my bike to go practice and all that. So it was a nice time. That was I was doing a can.
Oh, yeah.
Where was your
So-
helmet at? Because you're gonna have people screaming about that.
Well, he wasn't racing.
No helmet.
That was back when kids were tough.
Back when men
I
were
know.
men.
Yeah.
Right.
We didn't care about head injuries.
Yeah. Everybody
Exactly.
wear your helmet.
Shake it up.
So that was an interview that they did with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was pretty nice. And
Yeah.
and I was back and then I was already talking about coming to the States. I think that was 91. Something like that. I don't remember the date exactly, but yeah. And I was sponsored by a soccer team, and I had the best sponsor in the whole Brazil at the time.
Wait.
So that was
Oh, I
that was really
bet.
good.
From the football team.
Yeah, soccer. Yeah, soccer. The
So the soccer team sponsored a BMX racer.
yeah. I have a salary. I used their. Yeah. There you go. And this is the soccer stadium on the back there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
So-
Wow, that's pretty wild. I've not heard of one sport sponsoring someone in another sport before. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that was nice. So the beginning of that, it was 89. I hurt my knee at the World Championships in Brazil actually, and the surgery would have been too expensive, and I didn't have the money to do it, and I was gonna stop racing. So we went to the doctor who did the check-in, he used to work for the soccer team. So we went to the president for the soccer team, telling them that if they could help me. And the guy already knew me by the newspapers. He said, well, we've been following you. We're going to help you as a person. Nothing, we don't want anything in exchange. And so we did. Actually, we didn't have to do the surgery. I went for physiotherapy at the club. And I did that. And in a month, I was good. And I went back there to say thank you for the treatment. And he said, okay, from now on, you are an athlete for the club. So you have everything that a professional soccer player has, you have. So that was it.
Wow.
So I was there for
That's
2.5
amazing.
years, 3 years. Yeah.
That is really cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
How awesome.
So that
Very,
was great.
very cool.
Unique.
Do you think
So
like
that's why I have the stripe jersey. Even when I raced in Burbank, I raced with that stripe jersey.
I mean, just
Yeah.
just at a quick glance, it looks like you're in a soccer uniform, but I didn't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
say that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah,
very
it was
cool.
good.
Why not?
Yeah.
No helmet and a soccer uniform. Sounds perfect to me.
A lot of good stories. And then with that, so when I got to Simi Valley, the first pro that I saw was Greg Hill. And at the time, I didn't speak English. And a friend of mine introduced me to him. And I had the GT Mach 1, all small and everything. And he was telling me that I need a bigger bar. I was telling me I need a bigger bike. That I was a fast rider, but I need to change a couple of things. And he gave me one of his jerseys. And I said, thank you. So I got the jersey. And then that was the following week or a couple of weeks after, there was the Burbank race. And I didn't wear his jersey. I wore my regular soccer jersey. And so he got mad at me. And I said, why are you not using my jersey? And he didn't talk to me for a while. And after that, we become best friends. I was coached by him. I went to his coaching, and then after we became closer, and then I was doing clinics for him at his clinics instead of him going. I was going to do his clinics.
Oh wow!
And so we're still friends today. So it was a great story.
That's awesome.
That is good.
Yeah,
Shoot.
Greg Hill, the man.
what's the best piece of advice he ever gave you?
Good question.
Yeah. I think most of it is just the hard training. I mean, you have to train hard and never doubt yourself. So, yeah.
I've seen interviews with him. He's been on here before. He's a very intense person.
Yes, he is.
I guess that would be the way to put it, right? He's
yeah.
very intense.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, straightforward.
Yeah.
It's like it is what it is.
Well, yeah, he'll tell you what he feels about whatever it is we're talking about too.
Yeah,
There's no
We
doubt
need
about that.
like 20 more Greg Hills.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna. Yeah, I don't think you can have him on too many times. He's always got an opinion about something, so it's always good. Kind of along the same lines, what would be a good piece of advice you would give someone new to the sport of BMX, a new rider?
It's never expect too much, but train hard to get to your best. Because a lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna get this and get that, and all the kids, unfortunately, they start in novices, and some of them has a talent, and they'll be winning. Hey, I'm a champion, but they're winning novices, and then they go to intermediate, and then it's a little bit harder, and then some of them go through to expert, and some of them give up because they get the expectation on as a novice to be getting trophies and being called number one and everything. So, but when it grows up to the next level, that things are going to be a little harder and harder, and then they give up. So low expectation and hard work, and then you go far.
Okay. Start
Like him.
slow. Yeah. take your time. What is that? Enjoy the journey. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
Enjoy the
exactly.
journey.
Because I've seen a lot of parents coming and going to the sport, and um that's because they are okay. Social media and everything. The kids are winning on novices, and it's like, oh, my kid is winning. But there are people outside of the sport that doesn't know that that is a novice class, and then eventually you're gonna go to the next level. And then when the kid is not winning anymore because it's a little bit harder, the dad or the mom is just like, oh, you're not good enough. Take the kids out of the sport, which is it's rough.
Yeah.
Or even the kid doesn't take um, good on losing. So that's another thing. I mean, the best one of the advice we do just like learn how to lose, and then learn your mistakes, because there's always something there. It's even when you crash or somebody crash and then you fall, and it's like, oh my God, look at what he did. It's not. It's your fault. It's always your fault, because you should have been way ahead, and nothing that was going to happen would have happened. Even that somebody T-boned you on the track, it's your fault. So just be your best all the time. So nobody will touch you.
I like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. That is
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know there was a topic we wanted to talk about, and I'd like to jump into that topic. But before we do, Melissa, was there anything else in the chat check-in that we missed before we move on?
I don't think so.
All righty.
Unless Chris wanted to address how he paid for his haircut.
Did you pay cash? Did you use a credit card
Gold
or your
card.
phone?
Gold
I
card.
used a credit
Debit card.
I used a credit card. Yeah. And then, they let you put the tip on there too, Prince, just in case you're asked.
You don't take cash?
Oh, they probably do, but
You don't?
I
You're a horrible customer.
it was easier
You start taking cash with you.
to pay for a haircut
Yes. No, to tip with.
for the tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I should. Yeah, I try to. Do
I get
that,
it, dude.
but-
Bo Ricks, you want to roll in there with a bag of beer cans, but take cash, all right? Good Lord.
A bag of beer cans.
Good Lord.
Oh my gosh.
It's just okay.
Yeah.
Put this back on the rails here.
There'll be a separate show about tipping and how to do it properly.
So I want to dive in this one because this one hits home.
All right.
We were talking about this one. We were talking about the changes in BMX and how the tracks are different now. The skill set's different now. And I'm going to toss it over to our guest to start us off with this, because this is it's a hot topic, right? Yeah.
Because
So
the old school guys think BMX isn't BMX anymore and all that stuff.
it's not. It's what they say.
Ah,
And I'm
I
one
differ.
that thinks, and I guest agrees, it takes a lot of skill to race now, right?
Yeah. Yes. But the same thing. I think we got in a group, BMX old school group from Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy saying, oh, such and such, if they were racing today on this track, they would have killed everybody. And then I said, well, but that's go the same way. If somebody from today would race at those easy tracks, which was easier today, back then than today, so it would have been a different story. So I think everything's a progress. The guys back then obviously had more power, and the turns was kind of hard because of slow turns, and everything comes up to be fast now. Everything's faster, more technical, and I remember when I was a pro, when we had to change to clips. So a lot of the pros didn't like it, and there was a big jump, and a lot of people lost their minds over to the sport. They just left, unfortunately. And but that's the thing of any sport, any growth of the sport. You just had to be renewing everything every time, and that's how the new generation it's up there in the Olympics. And this year was great, and I think it was a big positive for the Olympics this year, and hopefully keep growing.
Well, with technology in the sport, and we look at like the technology they're bringing into BMX, from everything from like drones following racers to tracking software, so they can get
the transponders on the bikes now.
Yeah, well, even that, like they have like this software that follows the rider, so they can see where they accelerate on the track. They borrowed it from motocross.
Okay.
So they can see, like, they literally put like a piece on them, and they know like they got most of the landing or less of the landing. So like technology is a big part of it. And you had brought up, things change, tracks change, technology changes, and we were talking about football and soccer. So you had brought up a point with soccer over the years. One of your points with that is like, this is one of the things that change, which was big to me because as a casual viewer, basically, because I watched the show on Wrexham, I didn't know this, but you had brought this point up about the soccer ball. Like, tell us about that.
Yes, that's the thing. Like back in the day, well, the beginning, the soccer ball was pure leather, and with the rain, the ball was like, I don't know, 20 pounds, close to not that much, but that feels like. And nowadays the balls are, 1 pound or not even pound. I don't know how light they are today, but and if you put the guys that were playing back then to play with the balls are today, they couldn't play it.
Right.
Or the guys of today play with the ball that was back then, they couldn't do either.
Right.
And and everything changed today as medicine, and also, I mean, everybody is into proper training, physics, and all that. So that's a great part of the sport. I mean, we're growing all around. Before, the ones that brought the training more proper for the BMX was Christophe Levesque and Thomas Allier. When they came over, they were killing it, and because they were training for the sport, and so that changed a lot of perspective of all other riders, and it was another big change for the pro careers too.
So
and now you see kids at 5 years old is in the program, they're already training, which is great.
So if we plucked a pro from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010, threw him on today's track, which one is that 80s guy going to be able to compete? Is it harder? Is their track harder than today's track? Like where? Because that's what we always hear is that it took more pedaling, it took more this, took more that. What do you think is the hardest? Is it harder now to race BMX than back in the day?
Well, for sure. I completely. I can, especially let's say if we get into the guy's mind now today, which I mean, I went through, let's say, when they start doing the pro set. Back then, it was already a big change. So to have a pro set in a track, so the pros had to adapt to that. And nowadays, that pretty much the whole track it's a pro set. So not completely, but that's the feeling. Yeah. And they speed. I think most of it is speed because the track's all paved now or soil tech and all that. So that makes the speed a lot more hard to adjust. So I think it's going to be a hard time for the back then to get into the tracks today.
Yeah, well, then with the track being soil tacked or slurried is the even newer thing. Now the tires, we don't have the Comp 3 knobby tires anymore. Now it's more like a racing slick, real
Slick, yeah. Yeah.
real fine.
If you get one of those old school guys and put it on the slick pedal digit, the tires, just like, oh my God, well, I'm going to be riding this. Just right there, he's already lost because of the, the new technology of today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But I think this is good. You're a great person to have this conversation with because you raced then, you've been racing along, and now you're still doing it today. So I would say you're qualified to be having this conversation.
And I raced all the levels. I mean, I didn't do novice or intermediate, but I raced expert and I raced pro, and then vet pro, and then now expert again.
Right. Yeah. But no, I'd say I agree with you with everything you said. I don't. It's like comparing apples to oranges. It's just progressed so much from the 80s, even the 70s. I mean, it goes back that far. But, I mean, you raced in the 80s. I did as well. So that's what I know. But it's just progressed so much over time. Everything's changed. And you're talking about the soccer ball, and I use the kind of the same analogy, but with baseball. The players today do not use the same bat they did in 1955. It's a wood bat, but it's a lot different, and the ball's different.
That picture there was the year that I was in top 10, and then I finished top 12 that year. No. So USA BMX used to do not USA,
ABA.
ABA, oh my God, yeah, ABA. Used to do a poster of the top 10, and then after the race, we'll be signing autographs, or during the race, we'll be there doing autographs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
tell us about your path to citizenship.
Yes. So it was kind of rough because I was since 95, 93, 94 I tried and didn't happen, and then 2014 I was back in Brazil, so I tried back then, and they approved, so I came over with a green card in 2015. And then after that, I applied for citizenship, and they accept. And I did the interview, and thank God I got it. And here I am, an American now.
Oh, wow! Congratulations! That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is cool.
Yeah, proud American.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was the process, the test, what was hard, not hard?
It was hard because, I mean, you have to study the history of the U.S., which, I lost a bunch right now. They don't ask any questions because I wouldn't know how to answer. But, it's hard. I mean, it's a lot of questions that you have to study. Obviously, they take 3 questions of 100 and some that you study. And which was good, and I passed. So in the beginning, I tried a fake marriage, but that didn't go through, and that stayed in my file. But I didn't know. For me, everything was fine because I didn't go through with it. But the officer asked me about if I was married before, and I said no. I had a fake marriage, but I never got married. So the only thing he asked me for a negative marriage certificate, and I got that. Then they said, "Oh, you're good." So I got to get the citizenship.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was scary for a little bit, but
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, to tell the truth is never
Yeah.
is always good.
Always tell the truth, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You don't have
Well, you've got to race through, a lot of different generations, I guess is what the word I'm looking for. And, you were earlier, we were talking about, the magazines, right? And how important the magazines were. They literally influenced you to come to America and be a pro. And then we had, the change from magazines to video magazines. And then, with like Style Man's videos and props and so
Transit.
on. And transit
Yeah.
and props, and now it's social media, right?
yeah.
My question for you is like, how important is it, and this is coming from your perspective, so there's no wrong answer, but how important is it for a BMX pro and their public image, utilizing social media and media outlets? Like, how important is that to, then convey into sponsorships?
Well, that's the main thing right now. Even sometimes people are saying, "Well, we're not even watching my website," and that takes a lot. And then so that helps a lot of social media to have a good sponsor or promote your sponsor. In which I'm really thankful for all the people that supports me. And this is one of the main things. Tony Stillinger, trying to get into the Extreme X Square. So hopefully you get that thing over the hump, and we get through. And so it helps the sport. And then we're trying to make a new brand, and the sport deserve to a new sponsor out there. So it's good.
Well, it's amazing everything he's doing and pushing for the sport. And someone like yourself, like we talked, you were, in it in that 2090s pocket, right? When we always hear this, right? The big money was there, as they say. In your perspective, what can BMX do? So we're going to put our time machine, jump in our time machine, go back to that time frame we were talking about earlier. The end of the 90s, into the early 2000s when, racing was big. And what is it the sport could do to get back to that?
Well, the main thing, I think it's give it back to the pros. It's everybody, oh, you're crying and crying. I mean, you watch, let's say when the pros are racing, everybody it's on it. Everybody's watching. As soon as the pros left, everybody leaves.
Mm-hmm.
So why not take it more to the pros, give it more to the pros so we have more pros? Because a lot of the kids are 17, 18, 19. They don't want to be in a pro class right away because they can't do it. They can't afford it. It's a lot of work, a lot of cost to be a pro, and the guys are all fast. Mm-hmm. And now you can see in the U.S. you have a handful of pros. When you have quarters, and now that is from the pros that came from other seas. And but the U.S. We have good pros right now. But you can count on your fingers. So we need to a little bit more for the pros, and they are the ones that do the show.
Is it because I've used this before, kind of the death of the working man's pro class, where in those times you had whether it was in the A class or AA class, you had the ability to make somewhat of a living racing pro to get you to the next race, to the next race, to the next race, and you finally make the jump, right? And you're one of the, and it was the kind of the working man's pros, right? With whether it was the elimination of A pro or whatever, like I don't know, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. I feel that part of the pro class is gone now. Like it's just not there. You know,
Yeah, because you know it's a preparation. You know, it's in any sport you have to have a preparation to get into the main class. It's hard to jump in right away and be next to George Day or Ken Wood or Larson and all that. It's just
Right.
unreal. So and then the A Pro would help to get into that experience.
right?
And back then we used to have A Pro, Double A Pro, and Pro Open,
Yep.
and then also Pro Cruiser.
Pro Cruiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and now we barely have some elite race. Not all the nationals and here and there. So it's kind of hard.
Do you think that eliminating that A Pro in the cruiser is part of this? Now we only have this small handful of U.S. pros, racing. So
Yeah, and
they've eliminated
everything. Yeah, sorry, but the thing is, everything got more expensive. Okay, but if you look at the entry fees, I think when I was a pro, I don't know if it was $100 or $80. Now it's 200, if not more. I don't know how much. I think it's over 200 a day, and
Wow.
and then you make, if you win, you win what, 1,500, 2,000, I don't know, 3,000.
15.
I think it's
15. So, and we were making that back then, paying 100, and then the expenses was less because hotel was not that expensive. Rental car wasn't that expensive, and everything now today it's everything higher, and then the price we were winning it's still the same or less. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's a great business model.
It.
It's a great business model.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay the same from the 80s. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's a big thing. And that could probably be a whole nother show of why the pros don't get paid more than they do. But
I want to bring back Pro Cruiser.
I talked to Eddie King about that.
I do.
We got to talk to Eddie about that.
Those were some fun races to watch back in the day.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I always thought they were cool.
Yeah.
I
I mean, we've all heard it, right? It was a second chance. We've had people on where they're like, that's a second chance. You didn't do. You're like, whatever, man. It was cool to see pros on the big bikes.
Yeah. Well, plus it was a second. Well, it was a chance for them to make more money.
I think it would do great now. You know why? Factory dads. Dude, all like the 45 and over dads racing cruisers, if the pros were racing them, right now, they'd just be standing on the sideline like, I could be in there. Yeah, dude. And you can throw a football like Tom Brady, bro. No, you can't.
Right.
But come on, man. How awesome would it be?
Yeah. No, I think it would be cool. Of course, now there's pros and cons to it, obviously. I mean, there's a reason they don't have it anymore, but
Well, they don't like what he just said. They don't pay right now for inflation, I guess.
Yeah.
Why if they weren't going to pay for A pros, why pay for cruisers?
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a second chance for sponsors to see their rider, their jersey, their logo out there on the track. Maybe you get in the magazine, the website, Facebook posts, all that type of thing. So it's another chance for exposure for your sponsor.
Did you race cruiser?
Me?
Yeah.
I did 1 year.
1 year?
Yeah, 1 year. Not back then. I just 17. It was the only year I raced a full year.
Okay.
How come you didn't race it pro?
I think it was a little bit too much to carry, and I don't know. I never thought about racing cruiser. We had a BMX action photo shoot or test in cruisers, and I really liked it. I was one of the pros that was testing, and
cool.
but never got into cruiser. back then.
Yeah. How was that experience being the test? What do they call them? Test pilots or something like that?
Yeah, test riders.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, we had I think Bad the bike. The Bad was the best. Because riding that bike it felt like riding a 20-inch.
Okay.
Light also was good. Um, I think those are the ranks
So
that I remember. That was better.
when they did those tests, did they give you like a criteria or a sheet to like how did it feel jumping? How did it feel in the corners? How did that kind of work?
Yeah, I remember they did. I don't remember the questions, but we had a questionnaire to answer.
Okay.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, we were like 4 pros. That was in a Snap magazine one year.
Okay.
I have it somewhere in Brazil.
And Snap was my favorite.
Was that?
Yeah, because
okay,
it was a
see,
race magazine.
that was
It was
when I was out of the sport, so I'm not
It was
familiar.
Ride's version of race. So
Okay.
yeah, that was a great magazine. Hey, I got
cool.
I got a question for you. You've probably raced hundreds of frames. Do you have a favorite?
I would say the favorite is the one I'm using right now,
Yeah.
which is PKS, a
Mhm.
bicycle from Brazil that's coming up to the US. It's the co-sponsor of Alto.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a nice it's a bike that I was riding another, I don't know if I would say the brand, but when I got to this one, it felt like you got into and you don't have to try, it's already there. So it wasn't that I had to get used to it. It was a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that just went in and roll over. It was good.
They're good looking frames.
That's nice.
When I was down in Florida, I saw a handful of them, and I've just seen them grow and grow and grow. They're good.
Yeah,
looking,
we got the
bikes.
new ones this week, so we'll be showing in Louisville the new frames.
Yeah.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Matt over at Haps, he's a seller, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
representative. Yeah.
Yeah. Which that ties into Alice Bixler.
Alice's.
Yeah,
It's Alice's
there you
place.
go, all the way back. Alice was a guest on the show. That's her bike shop. If you're going to buy one, buy it from there. Tell them that they sent you. Hey, we're going to jump into our trivia question. Are you ready?
All right.
Don't answer this, okay?
Okay.
All right. So
We'll see if he remembers what he said.
yeah, because this is something you said earlier in the show. And we're going to do our little trivia question brought to you by Dye Job Apparel. You guys are looking for a way to raise your brand awareness. Make sure you guys check out Dye Job Apparel.
Need a jersey for your team?
Flags made.
Flags?
Designed.
Yeah.
He did a hoodie. Designed a hoodie.
Designed a hoodie. Oh, anything you want to put a logo on, a cup, a T-shirt, whatever. Get a hold of Sean at Dye Job
Dude,
Apparel.
you know what? He could do a Renato tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone would do that, but he could do it. He's good. Melissa.
You and your weird tattoo ideas.
Yeah.
He's always got something.
I got a lot to cover.
He's always ready to push it on somebody else. Yeah,
Well,
somebody else might
This
do
is
that.
a great
but-
idea for you. Get this tattoo.
I've got a lot to cover up.
You do have.
Yeah, them
A couple,
20s were wild
yeah.
times, man.
All right, Motor City Harley Davidson is sponsoring our chat package this evening, and so you're getting one of their little handy dandy sack backpacks there.
Cool.
In addition to that, I got some sunglasses going out, sticker pack with Harley Davidson stuff in there, and all our sponsor stickers. And then I also have, I was going to look earlier what size this was, but more like a youth large t-shirt, DDR t-shirt here.
DDR.
With they got a little logo on the back.
It's from our homie Joe.
DDR BMX there.
Joe.
over at BMX Inner Blood Podcast.
Oh, Joe Doherty.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So earlier in the show, we asked Renato what the big difference between riding or racing in the United States and international racing was, and he listed off a very specific difference. So in order to win the prize pack, I want to know, what did Renato identify as the big difference between racing in the United States and internationally?
Great question.
All right. So first person gets that in the chat.
And no, it's not Tom Brady, Dave.
He's still trying.
I managed to work it in tonight's show.
Oh, you did.
He
earlier.
heard it.
It was a
Oh,
long
he's
ways.
probably all excited.
You want to let him know who's on next week, Chris?
All right, next week we're going to find out about this Crenshaw BMX racing bike. So we're going to have Matt and Keegan Payne, and they are out of Eagle, Idaho, which I didn't know there was such a place, but
We learn something new every day.
Eagles
Yeah.
got to fly high somewhere, bud.
that's true. Yeah. So we'll
Sometimes
talk
it's in
to
Idaho.
Matt and Keegan Payne next week about Crenshaw BMX bike frames.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Find out about that. So you guys all tune in next Wednesday night for that one.
If you don't go buy a PKS frame.
Oh,
Yeah. Go
Don't.
PKS.
There you
there
go.
we go. Sure.
Well, while we're looking for our winners, we're going to throw it over to you for shout outs and, thanks and anything you want to take care of before you're off. And we look forward to having you back on the show to talk some more BMX. But we're going to throw it over to you, and you can give your sponsors and everybody a thanks.
Yes. First of all, thank you guys for having me.
You're very welcome.
And thank you for everybody that participated of this podcast. It was great. I have thank first God for being here, being part of this, and all my sponsors. Alto BMX, Alto Wrecking Crew is my new team now. PKS Bikes, Extreme X Square with Tony Stillinger, great guy. Thank you very much, Tony. So 110% nutrition, Remix, Wheels, ODI, Rips, Fly Racing. So I'm gonna forget somebody here. Custom design plates, busy.
Yeah.
So I just would like to thank everybody. If I forgot somebody, sorry. And all my family Silva back in Brazil. Tchau, pessoal. Obrigado pela força. So a little bit of Portuguese there.
Sure.
And all the tracks that support BMX, all the parents that take their time to take the kids to the track and be patient. There will be a champion one day, just not overnight. And
That's great.
again, thank you guys for this great moment. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
We really appreciate you taking time out of your day to hang out with us and talk BMX for a little bit.
It was great. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then hopefully the sport grows bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So
Well, it sounds like-
that's how we're going to get better.
Yeah, it sounds like you're helping that every day.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you for trying.
Yeah.
Al Roybal says #guy goals. I like it.
Yes,
you do
let's
some
go.
golfing?
Let's get on the gate.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you have, while we're waiting for a winner in the trivia, do you have anything, any other sports you do outside of BMX?
I do soccer. Yeah, I
mean,
play
of course you
soccer
do.
and volleyball, but volleyball not much anymore because of shoulder and all that stuff. But
Oh,
soccer I still play.
very good.
Great.
All right.
Yeah,
Good deal.
yeah.
I don't have a winner. Shockingly,
No.
Tough question this week.
Jeez.
All right. We can roll it
Yeah,
over.
We're gonna roll it over.
Hey,
Do you
all right.
remember what you said was the answer, Renato?
It was the number of racing.
Yeah, the three moto transfers.
Three more
Yep.
transfer. Yeah.
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 Oh, hey. Oh.
Wow, I was paying attention.
Hey, Melissa, you got a prize pack.
Woo!
There we go.
Just one she doesn't have to mail out.
I was going to say,
Exactly.
the postage on that one
It's a
should be.
cheap one.
Yeah, it should be
She,
really.
she left with like half of the last year of
Oh
prize
my
packs we haven't
gosh.
mailed out.
Oh God.
So an angel donor came through and
nice.
took care of the shipping, but she took this box of prize packs out, and I was like, "Well, I got those taken care of." She's like, "No, that's the other half."
Yeah.
I was like, "Boy, we really were behind."
Yeah, I was very
Yeah.
very much behind.
Yeah.
Hey. It's.
Yeah.
Hey,
But it
we
happens.
didn't. Hey, we never said when you were getting a prize.
Well,
pack.
Right.
We do the best we
Yeah,
can.
well.
We just said you get one.
Yeah. So
Oh,
chances
man.
are it's on its way to you at least this week if we owed you something.
Perfect.
Renato, thank you so much
Yeah.
for joining us again. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we look forward to having you back on soon. Hang out for a second. We're going to jump off screen here. Chris, you want to take us on out of here?
Yeah, again, everybody, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate it very much. Again, make sure you like and subscribe wherever you can. Remember, we have a podcast version of this show. You can get that anywhere you get your podcast from. Make sure you give us a little rating on there. That helps our numbers and that with the podcast people as well. So if you could do that.
Podcast people.
Well, what are they called?
The
Cinder?
podcast gods.
Yeah, the Google
I like it.
algorithm, whatever it is.
Yep.
But
Nice.
that's I don't know. I get nano focused on that like and share stuff. So if you guys could do that, we'd appreciate it very much. Again, join us next week. We're going to have Matt and Keegan Payne on. We're going to talk Crenshaw BMX. So we'll see you next Wednesday night. God bless you, everybody, and have a great week.